guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I am bottling. It always seems to take such a long time to get round to actually being able to bottle the beverage, you know, because you've got the brewing of it, the secondary to let it settle out nice and clear. Anything that you add to it in the secondary could make it go cloudy again. Now this is my Acerglyn, and it is nice and clear. You can see my thumb through it, so that is clear enough for me to get it racked off and bottled. I've already tasted this. I know what it tastes like. It tasted absolutely fan-dabby-dozy beforehand, before it cleared out. So it's going to taste exactly the same, if not better now. So, as always, we are going to take a hydrometer reading just to double check that the gravity is the same, so we know that it has stopped fermenting. Otherwise, when you bottle it, the bottles could explode. I've never had one explode. I've had some bottles that were slightly carbonated for a short period of time, but then the carbonation fizzled out and it was all good. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to sort out this Acerglyn and hopefully, fingers crossed, get it bottled. So let's remove the airlock. And do you know what it means when you get a demijohn emptied? It means you can brew something else. Just a kid, really. A kid with a chemistry set. Here we go. I mean, look at that. It's got a lovely colour to it. Super golden. Smells wonderful. Now, I remember this being very sweet, but it tasted so good. Even with the excessive sweetness that it had. It was just so good. Bit breezy today. Right, let's pop that back in there. Check the gravatar. Yep, it's still at 22, 1.022. We taste just because we can. We taste, that's quite a big taste. Got my gang members thing, Mash Gang, check them out, awesome brewery. They deal in low ABV beers and some wacky ideas like putting cereals in a beer. You know what? It was actually a really good beer. It has actually mellowed out a little bit. The maple sweetness isn't as punchy as it was. Might be a bit more balanced with the honey now as well. Either way, it is nice. So we are going to use this to put that up there, and hopefully that bush doesn't end up inside the house. We're going to siphon it off into here so I know roughly how much I've got of it, so then I know how many bottles to use. That can go straight in there. Otherwise, if I put it in there, it could disturb this haze that was on there. Now this did look like it was going to be finishing hazy. I don't know why. When I put the second lot of maple syrup in, it gave it a haze, kind of like pectin does in a sizer or a cider. It was bizarre, and I didn't add anything else to this to get rid of that, but it did eventually manage to get rid of it, so happy days. We're going to speed this bit up as always. Right, so you can't see it because my big bloody tub's in the way that's got my Kavai IPA in, but I'm down here and I'm using a bottle wand to now siphon it from there to there into the bottle. I always do my taster bottle first, You just push down, the liquid flows using gravity from up there down to here. Taster bottle I'll check in 6 months, and the rest of them I normally wait about a year. Same as you would a wine or a cider. A year is about a good point to come back and check it. Pop that up there and repeat the process. I'm going to speed this bit up. Right, so that's the 4 litre bottles full and the 330ml 6 month taster done. Now what I need to do is get a bottle cap that has been sterilised and cap it off. I'll get these labelled up and off to the store they go. This one for 6 months and those 4 for a year minimum, unless of course it tastes good at 6 months. If it tastes good at 6 months and I want a bottle, I'll just open a bottle. There's no, with homebrew there's no like, you know, oh you've got to wait this long. You can drink it as long as you think it tastes nice. The alcohol is still going to be the same, just the flavours marry together a lot better over time. And there you have it. That's the Acerglyn bottled. Woohoo! Now I've got to do the Ukrainian one, which is still a little bit hazy, but I'm just going to let that fizzle out in the bottle. Right, round 2. Now we're going to be bottling, well, might not even be bottling. We're going to be checking out the Ukrainian hopped wheat rusk mead. So it was a Ukrainian style. I got it from a website called Ukrainian Recipes, and they had this on there where they use wheat rusk and hops. So, last time I tasted it, it was extremely hoppy to the point where, I mean, I like hops, I drink beer, I like craft beer, I drink beers that have got a hell of a lot of hops in, but this was a bit intense, even for me. So what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little taste, see where it's at, and then maybe I'm going to take a portion out and add some honey, see if I can balance the sweetness, bitterness, juiciness. I mean, it's still slightly cloudy as well, to be fair. Still got a bit of cloud going on. I don't want too much to drink. Yeah, it's subsided a little. I think I want some sweetness to that. I'm going to have a wee ponder and I shall be back shortly. So a short deliberation, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the normal steps that we do. I'm going to take a hydrometer test. I'm going to check the notes. Now this went dry. It went down to 1.004. So we want to see that it's still at 1.004. Just to make sure that it has finished fermenting. It might even be a little bit lower now. If that's the case, we're going to add stoppers. And I'm about to test a bit with some honey in, just to see if a bit with honey in tastes nice. It's nice enough as it is, but it tastes a bit peculiar to me. It's not that it's not nice, it's just that it's not what I'm used to, if you get what I mean. what I am doing is, the gravity is still the same, so I'm going to take some of this, and although that does look pretty clear in the glass like that, it doesn't look like it to you, but to me that's quite clear. It's got a bit of a haze. I think that's from the wheat rusk. That is what I think. So I got the same honey that I brewed it with, which is blossom honey, and I'm just going to add a bit, see what that does, see if it brings out, like, not masks the hoppiness, because the hops is overpowering. I was talking to a mate earlier on, and I think I misinterpreted the recipe, because I kind of like everything that they did, it seemed like they were doing it for a litre batch. So I quadrupled everything and ended up with like nearly 200 grams of hops in a gallon batch. So yeah, it's bloody hoppy. And like I say, it's not that it's not nice, it's just that it's peculiar. Now, I suppose if you're going to brew a Ukrainian mead, you're supposed to keep it the way that it's supposed to be. I'd happily sit there and drink that. It's not that I wouldn't drink it. It's just that it's not one that I'd jump to take off the shelf. Do you know what I mean? It actually tastes, I know this sounds bad, but it tastes worse with honey. It tasted better on its own. So I'm going to leave it and I'm going to get it bottled. That's it. About 12.4% this one came out at, which is nice, because you don't get that boosh. Well, I'll close that. I need to use it up in a day or so. Move that and arrange. See, I'd prepared everything ready to rack this off, get it done, happy days. But I wanted to do that little taste test first, just to make sure that I was going to be doing the right thing, instead of jumping the gun, bottling it, and then thinking, oh, if only I'd put honey in. But backsweetening wasn't going to change that. It added sweetness, but yeah, it didn't mask the flavour of itself very well. Righto, so we are going to rack this off into here. Then from here, we're going to bottle it. Bada bom, bada bing. Yeah, so we're going to rack this off. I'm going to speed it up because it's really boring to watch it go really, really slow. And I'm just going to leave it as it is. I'm going to leave it as what I would see as a Ukrainian hopped wheat rusk mead. It is about 12.4%. It's got a big hop kick. I probably put too much hops in. But like I said, all I did was follow a really old recipe. And yeah, what are you going to do? That's just as simple as it is. I followed a recipe. I quadrupled everything because I was doing 4 times the amount. And yeah, so let's crack on. So yeah, that's that bottled, and now all there is left to do is to cap this one tester bottle, which I'll check in 6 months, and bottle off these rather overly filled Other ones, we'll get a clean one, which is actually sat in sanitizing liquid, because everything that touches your brew should be sanitized. Absolutely everything. Although saying that, I don't sanitize this because it only touches the top of it. Alright, pop that there. Close these off. And I've got three, say 3.5, because they're full up more than they should be, but 3.5 litres of apparent Ukrainian mead. I've left it as it's supposed to be, as it was said, but I may have misinterpreted their recipe and added way more hops than I needed to. But hey, what's done is done. I have an alcoholic beverage that is 12.4%, which not many people in the UK are going to be drinking right now. So 6 months time, we'll crack this bad boy open. We'll see what's happened. As you saw earlier on, I did try and add a bit of honey to it, but it didn't complement the flavour of the hops at all, which I was surprised at. I thought it would make it taste better. And that's that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again.